Hey there, Dr. Steve Edling, and today I want to talk to you about the clinical evaluation of Hashimoto's. So those of you who have suffered from any type of thyroid, most type of, or like 96% of all thyroid conditions are an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's. And the key is you need to get the antibodies run because if those are positive, the TPO or the TBG is positive, that means you have a autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's. All right. Now, medically, it's not diagnosed until you go over 4.5. But yeah, that's Hashimoto's. All right. So a lot of times people feel much better with the thyroid medication, and it will definitely help. And it's really important that you take that so we can control that, keep your TSH at a regulated, even level. That's very, very important on that. So there's 5 initial considerations with Hashimoto's, all right? And these are very, very important. So the number one thing is, are you reactively stable? So is your TSH level like this, all right? 0.5 to 4.5 is the medical lab range. I like it more like about 1.0 to like 3.0 is kind of more of a functional range. So we don't want to go up and down and all over the place. Or here, and then you gradually have to just increase your medication every 6 months. That's not good. That's not stable. All right. So we need to. That's number one. All right. And also, is it fluctuating between hypothyroidism or hyperactive? So sometimes these autoimmune conditions, thyroid can get into a hyperactive, and that is not good at all to have. It can be all over the place. One time you're at 7.0, next you're at 0.01 and have hyperactive symptoms. That would be like a Graves' disease. So is it fluctuating? That's number one. Number two is, how aggressive is your thyroid disease? All right. And what that means is, if you just constantly have to just increase your meds like every 6 months, that's not good. That's an aggressive attack. So that's when you need to start digging deep into why you have to constantly keep your medication. Nobody's addressing the underlying autoimmune condition, and that's what my job is. So number two is, how aggressive is your autoimmune thyroid disease, and do you have to constantly up your dosage? All right. Number three is, do you have some cerebellum cross-reactivity? So here's one of the biggest things that I see in my practice is that people have balance disorders, vestibular things where, driving car can be hard, getting up and down. They're just like spacey kind of feel, just don't feel quite right neurologically. That can be a little cerebellar issue, and there's cross-reactive antibodies that we'll see with Hashimoto's. So one of the things that we do when we check is do some cerebellum testing, all right? And if you're positive with the Hashimoto's TPO, TPG antibodies, we like to also run the cerebellum antibodies, especially if you're having symptoms of dizziness, just brain fog, just the balance isn't so hot. It's important to do that. So number three, do you have a cerebellum cross-reactivity? Number four, do you have autoimmune to other tissues? So once you're autoimmune, you're always autoimmune. Once you're autoimmune, it's always looking for somewhere else to attack, right? What other tissue is it going to attack? So that's like where I like to run Cyrix Array 5. It's a phenomenal test. We can see what other tissues of your body are you autoimmune. So with Hashimoto's, the other two that we commonly see is a very common, we see celiac and rheumatoid arthritis, especially the celiac one. But in cerebellar, it's a very common one we'll see also. So we run like 25 different antibodies to other tissues of your body. Because if you're at one, there's probably likely that you have a multiple autoimmune condition. We need to address that. So are there antibodies to other tissues? And number five, is there any medication interactions with your thyroid glands? So sometimes some of the meds have gluten in it. They have other fillers. Some have gelatins in it that people are sensitive to. Sometimes there's other medications around. So we need to look at your medications which you're on, and see if there's something that's aggravating that. And also with herbs too, they can shift your TH1, TH2 a little bit. So we have to look at all your different things, supplements, herbs, medication to see if that's aggravating your Hashimoto's. So those are the five initial clinical considerations that I deal when people come in with a Hashimoto's, any type of thyroid dysfunction. I need to look at that. Then we start going into the underlying physiological web of Hashimoto's, and that it really needs a lot of entanglement, and that would be for another video. So today that's the 5 initial considerations with Hashimoto's. Take care.